And now for my next number, I'd like to return to the
classic. Times.
What's up, guys? Alex back again. It might be a little bit weird, not seeing me do a Vinyl Fans video. I wanted to do more of these types of videos, ranking videos, but I never, because I'm not a completist, usually I don't have every album from a certain artist sometimes, so I just can't do it. But I've done a couple before. I did Arctic Monkeys ranking video, and I also ranked Stevie Wonder's 70s albums. A couple years ago I did that one. But this video, I talked about this ages ago, like back in, I think, the summer. I talked about it on my Instagram story. And so, I was meant to do it way back then and never got around to doing it, just kept putting it off. So this time I'm going to sit down and I'm going to properly do it. It's me ranking all 4 of the 1975 studio albums. Now, until about February 2019, I wasn't really a fan of the 1975 that much. I maybe liked 1 or 2 songs here or there, but for the most part, I wasn't as big of a fan as I am now. But now, I'm a big fan. I've got all 4 of their albums, so what's not to like? Anyway, with that said and done, I'm gonna rank their 4 albums from good to great. I can't say best to, well, I would say best to worst, but yeah, I wouldn't really say they have a bad album. But I'll explain in a minute when I talk about them. But let's just get straight into this video. So, coming in 4th place, Notes on a Conditional Form. I know their most recent work from this year comes in 4th place. Now, this isn't saying that it's a bad album at all. I'm saying it's a bit sporadic. And yeah, I was lucky enough to be on this tour earlier on in the year, and although at that time they didn't, obviously the album wasn't out then, and they didn't have that many singles out for the album, I was ready for this album. And then I got it, I listened to it, and there was no real consistency on the album for me. When I say that, I mean no 2 songs are the same, and for me that's not really an album, that's more of a compilation. The opening track, the 1975, is more of a political based statement. People is more, of a screamo, almost screamo type of song. And you've got If You're Too Shy, Let Me Know, which is my favourite song on the whole album. Me and You Together song, Frail State of Mind, The Birthday Party, all a bit chilled. There's not a bad song on it, really, but because it's a bit too random in its style to be an album, and each song's different, I can't put it any higher because I wouldn't really class it as an album. I'd class it more, it feels like more of a compilation to me instead of an album, and that's why it comes in 4th place. In 3rd is A Brief Inquiry into Online Relationships from 2018. This, like I said, is the album that fully converted me, and even though saying that, again, I feel like there's some filler on this album. The first half of this album, like the first 8 tracks, are all fantastic. You've got Give Yourself a Try, 2 Time, 2 Time, 2 Time, How to Draw, Love It If We Made It, Be My Mistake, Sincerity Is Easy, and I Like It. I Like America, and America Likes Me. Oh, and of course the opening track, 1975. They always call that opening track the 1975. But I do like the first 8 songs on this album. I like track 11, It's Not Living If It's Not With You, and then track 15, the closing track, I Always Want to Die Sometimes, is good. Inside Your Mind is good if I'm in the mood for it. There are some tracks on here I skipped, like The Man Who Married a Robot, Mine, and I Couldn't Be More in Love. I sometimes skip those two, but sometimes when I'm in the mood, I don't skip them that often, but sometimes I skip them, and that's just because I'm not in the mood for them. But yeah, this is still a good album. Like I said, it's the album that fully converted me into a fan, so I had to have it. But yeah, there it is. The 1975's A Brief Inquiry into Online Relationships comes in at number 3. At number 2, at least for me, is the 1975 I Like It When You Sleep, For You Are So Beautiful Yet So Unaware of It. That's the full name of the album, believe it or not. Some great stuff on here. From Love Me to Change Your Heart, She's American, Somebody Else, Paris, This Must Be My Dream, Nana. The Sound is a great song on here. I do like this album, but what it came down to between 1 and 2 is which one I listen to more and which one I connect with a bit more. This one, although there's songs on here that I may listen to like on a daily basis, some of the songs, as a full album, I don't listen to this one anywhere near as much as I do my number 1 pick. So that's really what it came down to here. I know some people at least who prefer this album over my pick for number 1, but for these two, it really just comes down to personal preference, and for me, I've put this album at number 2. Okay, and number 1 for me is, if you can't guess it by now, it's the 1975. The 1975. This album, and I'm going to spoil things here, this album even made my top 100 albums of all time, which is kind of a spoiler, really, to that series, but also kind of helps you understand why this album is on the list, is number 1 on my list. Although it's not the album that got me into them, it's the album I listen to most, like from start to finish. You've got The City, Money, Chocolate, which may be my favourite song from them, Heart Out, Settle Down, Robbers, Girls, She Way Out, Menswear. It's just an incredible album, and for me, from start to finish, this is the album I do listen to more, although I may listen to some of the individual tracks off this one a little bit more. As a full album, it's this one for me. So, yep, that's it. It's really just personal preference with these, and if you have a different opinion, then please leave a comment down below and let me know your ranking of the 4 1975 albums. And with that said and done, that's going to do it for this video. Guys, thanks so much for tuning into the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed. Give a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you're new here, and obviously turn on that bell notification so you get notified when I upload next. And with that said and done, that's going to do it for this video. Guys, thanks so much for tuning back, and I'll see you again very soon. Peace.